then
Samir. Okay, we're going to tell you what it's like to be a fourth grader in Ms. Gall's class. I'm Alexis.
I'm Arian.
I'm Bryson.
I'm Ilya.
I'm Miles.
And I'm Marcia.
And I'm Samir.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what it's like to organize your binder. At first it's kind of hard, like cleaning your room, but once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. You need 4 tabs: social studies, math, science, and language arts. In those tabs you put the correct corresponding subjects to match with the tabs. And we organized our binder with different tabs so we would know where all the papers are. We did this because it would help us be organized, and we know how to keep organized and neat. In other grades, like 5th grade or middle school, high school, college, even when we do our jobs when we're adults, we'll know how to keep our workstation organized so we can do our job done, or get our job done and do it well and fast. Thank you. Okay, now Arian and Brighton will both talk about lit circles.
So, lit circles is 2 things: books and big ideas. Let's start with books. How many of you guys like to read books?
Me.
So, now Ms. Gull will give us a description of 6 or 7 books she has chosen for the type of lit circles we're doing. Now, we choose our top 3, put if we've read any of the books or not on binder paper, and we turn it in. Then Ms. Gull will decide our groups. Once we get our groups, we'll divide the book into 6 meetings and do the reading equally. Now I'm going to talk to you about big ideas. The most important big idea to me and best is power.
Wait, just a second. You didn't explain enough. Big ideas are this special thing throughout the book that show really about the characters. For example, with Power, and the one and only Ivan, Power is big because there's a person and a gorilla. Who would go for the person? There is really nothing for the gorilla. The person can do whatever it wants to the gorilla, kill it, not feed it, not let it out of its domain, stuff like that. So big ideas are important so you can do different activities. For example, nonfiction articles and working with a group. The nonfiction articles, we read it and we get these questions which we answer using evidence from the book's big ideas or the nonfiction article. When we're working with our group, we take these big ideas to answer a big question that will help us understand the book better.
Well, to end, these are my 3 favorite lit circle books. If your children ever are in 4th grade, Ms. Gull's class, please choose these books. That's all. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about math. There are 3 things in math: application problem sets, and educreations. Let's start with application problem. Application problem always keeps me vigilant to do the next math lesson of the day. As soon as we come in, Ms. Gull has the application problem written on the board. When we start a math module, she gives us the application problem sheet. We take the number that she's written on the board, we take it out of our binder and post it in our morning notebooks. We do the problems and our teacher checks us. If we get it right, the teacher puts a stamp as the star stamp, and if we get it wrong, the teacher explains what we did wrong and how can we fix it. Now I'm going to talk about problem sets. Problem sets are sample problems that Engage New York / Common Core has made up, so the lesson that we've learned is embedded in our brains. After we've learned the lesson, we just go back to our seats and do it. And if we finish the whole problem set, then we correct with other students. Now I want to talk to you about educations. How many of you guys like to use iPads? Me. How many of you guys have seen Khan Academy? So what Khan Academy does is they use voice and draw to explain a lesson. That's basically what educreations is, except then educreations would be copying. what EduCreations is it's an app on the iPad because students like to use touchscreen things better than the computers because it's shown that like students actually draw really terrible when they use a mouse or a touchpad on the computer. So they just draw using touchscreen iPads. Now we have, hopefully this presentation will be shared with you so you can watch the EduCreations that me and Chris, a fellow student in our class, have made. Thank you.
Okay, now I will be talking to you about Adobe Voice. Adobe Voice is writing. So we wrote a fictional story about anything. You can write funny stories or informational stories, and then we recorded our voice and we read our story onto an iPad, and then we inserted the picture and the music to represent our story. This helped me as a student because it helped me on my writing skills and my speech skills. And I hope this will be shared with you also because, as it says, it's my beautiful story. So beautiful. Okay. Now I'll talk to you about my PowerSnap project. PowerSnap project is social studies. We try to persuade like a fake power bar company to come to the northern region of California. I had to talk about the recreation part in my group. Recreation is like things to do when you're alone or with your group. You can go to the movies, go to aquarium, like ride your bike, etc. This helped me as a student because it helped me interact with people and communicate with my group.
Now I'm going to talk about our California map in social studies. Hi, I'm Miles Tucker, and today I'm going to talk to you about a special project we made in 4th grade, Sculpture Map of California. While making the sculpture, we learned about the history and the battles of California. We also learned about the people and the many different types of land. The Native Americans, Mexicans, and Spanish all played very important roles in the history of California and making it what it is today. The California Sculpture Map is a very important piece helping you learn the history and the geography of California. We learned a lot of labeling and painting the entire sculpture. The labels in paint showed where the cities, lakes, deserts, mountains, and regions are located. We were tested on the information and we learned a lot. Another historic event in California was the Gold Rush. The Gold Rush took place from 1848 to 1855. The Gold Rush brought many people to California in search of gold. The Gold Rush changed the population of California because many people settled here. California is a large, rich state with many different landscapes and people. I hope you enjoy learning about California as much as I did.
Now I'm going to be explaining Wordly Wise. The first thing we do in Wordly Wise is our teacher will give us a paper and we have to self-specific ourselves on each word. Check means you kind of get it. Plus means you get it. You really get it. And question marks means you don't. After that, we go on the web and we discuss with our teacher of what the words are. Once we're done, we put it in our paper. And in word period, when you don't do word circles, which Whiten and Ian explained, when you don't do word circles, you do word period. One of the options in word periods is Wordly Wise. You have to answer questions about the words in the paper. You could use the paper as a guide. And then you put it in the turning basket, and on Friday, at the end of the week, we check it. And in class, if you catch a teacher saying the Wordly Wise word, or you say it in a sentence, you get 1 space buck. Fake classmen. You could use rubrics also to explain, to check how you're doing, how well are you explaining the Wordly Wise words. And these are my favorite Wordly Wise words. Now,
Arzu was talking about a little bit about rubrics and they grade it for worldly wise. Well, I'm going to explain more about the rubric project. So, in this project, what we had to do is we had to do a not super complicated chore, and our parents had to grade us using a rubric system, which is 1, not complete and many mistakes. 2, complete but not very like it's very shabby and not like full and good. And then 3 is like on level and the 4th grade level or whatever grade it is. And 4 is above this grade level or above and beyond. So this is our rubric project. Not everybody had to do like making the beds or cleaning your rooms or walking your dogs, etc. But I did clean the room because it was the quickest one that came to my head. And now this came from my digital portfolio. Thank you. Now Alexis will explain our conclusion.
It's okay. In 4th grade, we learned many things. From lit circles to math, we had a ton of fun, and we hope to have the same amount of fun next year. Thank you for listening.
Bye!
Hey, is there any chance you could show us one of your portfolios?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I can-
mine.
Okay.
I'm logged into mine.
Okay, Samir, let's see yours.
I liked how you guys were using academic vocabulary. That was
Yes.
awesome. But I have a question while we're waiting for Samir to load his
Okay.
portfolio.
We were gonna ask, do you have any questions?
What
Yeah,
do
do you
you
have a
use
question?
the space bucks for?
So there's auctions, buying food,
It's like
Fines.
it's basically like
A teacher can fine us if we do something bad or forget something, or we have to pay for like a rubric that we've lost, you know.
Put this down. Thank you.
So what are some of the applications